Right now, as you're reading this, there's someone sitting alone in a coffee shop. They're pretending to be busy on their phone, scrolling, liking, commenting. But if you looked closely at their screen, you'd see something heartbreaking. They're not texting anyone. They're just scrolling, killing time, waiting for the acceptable moment when they can leave without looking too pathetic. That person, they might be your coworker, your neighbor, the person you passed on the street this morning. Or it might be you. Here's a statistic that should terrify us. 30% of millennials say they feel lonely all the time. Not sometimes, not occasionally, all the time. But here's what's even more disturbing. Having zero close friends is now as common as having a college degree. Today, we're going to talk about something nobody wants to admit. We're going to talk about the people who have no friends. Not many friends, not wish I had more friends. Zero, none, nobody. And before you think, that could never be me, I'm going to show you how close you might be to joining them. Let me ask you something. When was the last time someone invited you to something? Not a work obligation, not a family event, not a wedding where they invited 200 people. I'm talking about someone who thought of you, specifically you, and said, I want to spend time with this person. Can't remember? You're not alone. Here's the thing about modern friendlessness. It's invisible. It's the epidemic hiding in plain sight. The person without friends doesn't look lonely. They look busy. They look fine. They post on social media. They have 847 followers. They comment, "Great pic," on posts. They're participating. But here's what you don't see. They haven't had a phone call that wasn't work-related in 3 months. They eat every meal alone. They don't have a single person they could call at 2 a.m. When they got that promotion, there was nobody to celebrate with. When their pet died, they cried alone in their apartment. On their birthday, they bought themselves a cupcake and ate it alone. And the worst part? They've gotten so good at hiding it that even they sometimes forget how lonely they are. The weekend test. Here's how you know if you're friendless. What do you do on Friday night? If your honest answer is scroll my phone until I'm tired enough to sleep, you might be closer to friendless than you think. Now, some of you are thinking, but I have friends. I have people I talk to. Okay, let me give you the real friend test. Can you call them without an excuse? Do they know what's actually going on in your life? Would they notice if you disappeared for a month? Have you seen them in person in the last 30 days? Could you tell them something embarrassing without fear? If you answered no to even 3 of these, you might have acquaintances, not friends. So how did this happen? How did we create a world where people are more connected than ever, but lonelier than ever? The great friendship massacre happened slowly, then all at once. Phase 1, we moved for careers. Our grandparents lived in the same town their whole lives, same friends from kindergarten to retirement. We moved for college, then moved for our first job, then moved for a better job, then moved again. Each time we left our friends behind, thinking we'll stay in touch. But we didn't, because phase 2, we replaced effort with technology. We stopped calling, started texting, stopped texting, started liking posts. We convinced ourselves that following someone's life through Instagram stories was the same as actually being in their life. Spoiler, it's not. Phase 3, we got too busy. Work consumed us. Not just 9 to 5, but 24/7. Always available, always grinding. Hustle culture told us that spending time on friendships was wasting time we could spend building our careers. So we did, and we succeeded. We got the promotions, the money, the nice apartments. And we're eating dinner alone in those nice apartments every single night. Phase 4, the pandemic broke what was left. COVID didn't create loneliness, it just revealed it. When lockdown hit, some people had group chats exploding with friends checking in. Others had nothing, dead silence, and they realized they'd been living in a social house of cards that collapsed the moment it was tested. But here's the part nobody talks about. It's hard to make friends as an adult. When you're a kid, friendship is automatic. You sit next to someone in class, you like the same cartoon, boom, Friends. As an adult, where do you even start? Everyone already has friends, or seems to. Everyone's busy, everyone's tired, everyone's got their established friend groups that have been together since college, and good luck breaking into that. And here's the cruel irony. The longer you go without friends, the harder it becomes to make them. You get out of practice. You forget how to socialize. Small talk feels impossible. Reaching out feels desperate. So you stop trying, and the loneliness compounds. Now, maybe you're thinking, okay, so some people don't have friends. Is that really such a big deal? Isn't independence a strength? Let me tell you why this matters. Why this isn't just sad, it's dangerous. Friendlessness will kill you, literally. Studies show that chronic loneliness has the same impact on your mortality as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It's worse for you than obesity, worse than physical inactivity. People without friends have 50% increased risk of early death, higher rates of depression and anxiety, weaker immune systems, higher blood pressure, increased risk of dementia, more frequent suicide attempts. But it's not just about living longer, it's about living at all. Here's what life looks like without friends. You wake up, no good morning texts, you go through your day, no one asks how you are, you have good news, no one to tell, you have bad news, no one to comfort, you see something funny, no one to laugh with, you're scared, no one to call. Every joy is halved because there's no one to share it with. Every pain is doubled because you carry it alone. You start talking to yourself more, laughing at your own jokes because there's no one else to laugh with. You rehearse conversations that will never happen. You create imaginary scenarios where people care about you. And the spiral gets darker. You stop grooming as much because who's going to see you? You stop trying new things because experiencing them alone feels pathetic. You turn down invitations, the rare times they come, because you've forgotten how to socialize and you're terrified of being awkward, which means you get invited even less, which makes you more isolated, which makes you more awkward. It's a prison, and you're both the prisoner and the guard. The 3 a.m. test. Here's the real measure of friendlessness. It's 3 a.m., something terrible happens. Who do you call? If your answer is 911 or nobody, you're friendless, and that's a terrifying place to be. Let me tell you about the people no one thinks are lonely. Meet Sarah. She's successful, director of marketing, makes 6 figures, has 1,200 Instagram followers, goes to networking events, always smiling in her photos, always posting about #blessed, #living my best life. What you don't see? She hasn't had a deep conversation with another human in 18 months. She pays for a therapist because it's the only hour of her week where someone actually listens to her. She keeps her therapy appointments secret because she thinks needing therapy means she's weak. Meet Marcus. He's funny, life of the party at work, always cracking jokes. People love him. He seems so popular. But what you don't see is he's performing. That humor, it's armor. Those jokes, they're a defense mechanism to keep people from getting too close, because getting close means vulnerability, and vulnerability means risk, and he can't handle another rejection, so he keeps everyone at arm's length while dying for someone to push through and really see him. Meet Jennifer. She's a mom. She has kids. Surely she's not lonely, right? Wrong. She's home all day with toddlers. Adult conversation? Zero. Her partner comes home exhausted, glued to their phone. Her old friends, though, they disappeared when she had kids because they're still going to clubs and she's covered in spit up. She loves her children desperately, but she's so lonely, and she feels guilty for even admitting it. Meet David. He's retired, worked hard his whole life, now has time for friends, but his friends are dead, or sick, or moved to Florida. His kids, though, busy with their own lives. Call once a month if he's lucky. Visit twice a year. He's got all the time in the world and no one to spend it with. He watches TV 12 hours a day, not because he likes it, because the voices make him feel less alone. These are the invisible lonely. They're everywhere. They might be the person sitting next to you. They might be you. Here's the good news. It doesn't have to be this way. But here's the hard news. You have to do something. Friendships don't just happen at 30, 40, 50. You have to build them deliberately, intentionally, and yes, awkwardly. Step 1. Get radically honest. Admit you're lonely. Not to everyone, but to yourself. Stop pretending you're fine. Stop saying you're just introverted or you prefer your own company. If you're reading this and your chest feels tight, you know you're lonely. Admit it. That's step 1. Step 2, show up. Go to that book club, that hiking group, that pottery class, that board game night. Yes, it'll feel awkward. Yes, you'll want to leave after 10 minutes. Stay anyway. Show up again next week and the week after. Consistency creates familiarity. Familiarity creates comfort. Comfort creates friendship. Step 3, reach out. That person you haven't talked to in a year, text them. Hey, I was thinking about you. Want to grab coffee? Yes, it might feel desperate.